Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Stonehearth in our Rise Children playthrough, and today is March 7th, and there's not too much, but there is a good example of indie creativity that came out on this date. In 2014, though we're kind of gaming it a little because it's the iOS release of a Windows title, primarily a Windows title anyway, is Surgeon Simulator 2013, the fantastic example of indie development. It was originally made for a 48-hour game jam, I believe, or something to that effect. I don't recall exactly. And it was cool. So they worked for longer on it and developed it into a full game. And we really, it's one of those games that, well, one, I had no idea it was really, it's 3 years since 2014, since the iOS release, but it's really actually more like 4 years old. I had no idea it was that old. I thought it was a relatively new game. I feel like that came out yesterday almost. Or a year ago anyway. But no, it didn't. It's an old game now. And it's a really good example of the weirdness of the gaming world, where, it's really not the kind of game that you conceptually think about and say, hey, this is a fun game that a lot of people are going to enjoy and play. There's no way that you would have that reaction if someone described it to you, I guess. Like, in honest, direct terms about what the gameplay is. It's saying, okay, you perform surgery, but the controls are terrible. Is that going to entice you to play the game? Or are you going to want to pay money to play that based on that description? And yet, once you actually do it and you play it, it's actually nothing like what you would have expected, and it's hilarious fun. And I don't think that we have enough of those, and it's really great, and we're very lucky that we have indie developers to explore that space and kind of just do stupid shit that, hey, maybe it's gonna flop, and it probably will, and no one will care. And this wasn't even a commercial title initially, but they tried it and they put it together, and hey, look, it's hilarious fun. And it's fantastic that we have that luxury to have these guys who basically explore the landscape and say, hey, I'm gonna try this, and you get a diamond every once in a while, and this is, I think, one of them. And it's just, this is one of the things that makes me love gaming and really enjoy the premise of having a channel and being involved in it to a degree, even though I'm involved, I guess, but I'm certainly not important, let's put it that way. Why I enjoy that, it's because we have this landscape that is just so bizarre. I love the idea that, let's not forget, by the way, Minecraft came out of nowhere too. That's one of the biggest titles of all time. I found out about Minecraft from, well, this is going to be not embarrassing, but telling, I guess. I read about it on 4chan. Say what you will, yes, what everyone knows 4chan for is terrible, fine. I don't disagree with that, but certain parts of 4chan were actually really good. The board games part, TG, was a lot of fun back in the day. The video games part was pretty terrible most of the time, but every once in a while you'd see something like Minecraft would pop up, and I found about it from there. And it was, I remember seeing, floating islands and stuff. I think I talked about this recently, actually, but it was great. And that was out of nowhere, really. Like, without people talking about it and sharing it, maybe Minecraft never becomes Minecraft. It's just some little game that some guy's making for fun. And honestly, with the way things went and the way he talked about feeling about it, I think maybe Notch would have been happier with that. Possibly. But, hopefully he's happy. Hopefully he has a good life. He seems like a decent enough dude. There's some... I forget, was there something that he did or said that I didn't agree with or like, but then I don't remember. He's a cool guy anyway, that's the important thing. He's seems to be a very decent fellow. Even though for some reason in the back of my head, I feel like there was something he did I didn't like, or not that he doesn't need to please me. It's not his job to please me, but still. Anyway, maybe without that kind of publicity, jeez, I can't talk today. You don't get a game like that, and it's awesome what that can do when, you know, Minecraft, we can all clearly see the appeal, right? Like, there's nothing weird about Minecraft being successful. But Surgeon Simulator? That's out of left field to me. I think if you describe that game, like I said, there's no way in hell that I would say, yeah, that's cool as hell, let me play that. But it is cool as hell, and it is fun. So, it's amazing where we've gotten that can happen. And I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of the gaming industry or community. It's probably more community than industry at that point, because we're not really talking about companies there. We're more talking about people. And those individuals who made the game didn't say, hey, we're gonna be a studio and we're gonna make this game and people are gonna buy it and we're gonna have this profit margin. No, it's just like, hey, this is funny, let's make this bullshit game and put it out there for this event. Oh, hey, people really liked it, let's expand on it. That's awesome. And the fact that we can have that is awesome. So anyway, apologies for gushing about that endlessly, but it's so cool that we have that luxury of being exposed to all these cool different ideas about what entertainment can be and what gaming can be, and we're not in the Wild West anymore. I think it was the we should connect this, by the way. It used to be the Wild West. And those days had their appeal. But they also had their negatives as well. And we're still a little bit Wild Westy, because we have stuff like you know, the current situation with Steam Greenlight. That's too wide, isn't it? No, that's right. Alright. The change to Steam Greenlight, making it be a, well, getting rid of it, to be blunt, but also implementing the different system to get new games on Steam, basically just paying a fee. I don't necessarily think that's the solution, but I haven't put enough time into it to really have a solid opinion on it. That exists because of shovelware getting onto Steam. Fine, I get it. I understand why that needs to happen. But it speaks to the fact that we're still kind of in the Wild West a little bit. But gaming is also much more popular and widespread, so not totally. But it's fun to kind of be here where... Oh, fuck off. You guys are going to start spawning up here now. But yeah, it's fun to be in this situation where you can get weird shit going on that you just can't anticipate. And it just comes out of left field, surprises you, and you love it. You know, most of the decisions that I make about what I want to play happen at the last second. I didn't plan on getting Breath of the Wild. I had no intention of getting it. And I saw, oh, the hype is not bullshit. Like, this is actually really good. And I picked it up and played the shit out of it. And actually, the first thing I'm going to do when I'm done recording, well, actually, probably going to be do chores because I have a lot of work to do. But probably pretty quick after that, I'm going to try and get some Breath of the Wild in before I have to go to sleep tonight. There's a good reason for that. It's a fucking great game. And I cannot wait to go play it some more. And that's kind of so even with AAA stuff, it's last minute waiting to see and hear what people think. I don't even look at, well, I mean I do, because I'm in this business, so to speak, I guess, by having a channel. So I have to kind of pay attention to what's going on and what's new, because that influences what I should play, etc., etc. But I generally don't actually make a decision till the last minute. So even if it's not an indie game, we're in a very, again, I guess the right way to describe it would be Wild Westy kind of world where this is how we do things. It's all off the cuff, kind of. And I know it's not that way for everyone. This is just my personal experience, but I just really love that, you know, I could just wake up tomorrow and there's an amazing game that I never knew anything about that just came out that I could try and play and have a load of fun with out of nowhere. completely out of left field. It makes it super easy for me not to get hyped and over, you know, specifically overhyped is what I should have said, for stuff that's coming out, because I don't have to worry about that. I've got something cool tomorrow, probably, if I want it, and I can just go load it up, pick it up on Steam, play the shit out of it anytime I want. No problem at all. And that's just so much more enticing than buying and saying like, hey, this specific game I really, really want right now. And I still get that feeling. That's the marketing exists to give you that feeling, but yeah, it's just, it's fun to not be completely a slave to that, I guess. Another meaningless invasion here. We're gonna kill these guys, no problem. Just gonna take some time. Big guys are a little hard to kill. We're missing one of our archers. Yeah, he's just chilling out over here. You wanna help? Come on, man. You got work to do. Okay. This is annoying. Ah, I fucking hate the way this works. You two, come back here. There you go. Now we should be fine. And of course the archers are not attacking the correct target, they're attacking the other one. Which is not what I expected them to do. Okay, now kill this guy. I don't mind if they run away as long as I have the barbed arrows firing at them, but if I don't, it's just kind of a waste of everyone's time. They run off into the sunset. There's very little I can do to avoid having people running way the hell away from home to get stuff. Even here, it's long distance. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But yeah, it's just, I really, really enjoy the chaos, I guess, let's say, of the video gaming world these days. Of, if you're really into it and you're invested in it to the degree of, you know, a full-time YouTube streamer, you're going to know everything that's coming. Well, you're not going to know everything that's coming, but you're going to be seeing things at PAX and like, hey, this is on the horizon. Even though there's not marketing for it, they're going to pay to go to PAX, and you'll see them there a lot of the time. And that'll tell you what's coming, but as a normal consumer, like an average consumer, you don't get any of that. You don't go to PAX, you don't see any of this shit. So how are you going to know what's coming up? You're not. Even if you're in the business, you're probably not going to know everything. I don't think it's possible. There's just too much coming. You might know the big ones that are likely to be hits, but there's always something on the horizon that you don't know about that's going to come around the corner and surprise you. And that's awesome. I love that. It's just, it's great that there's that many situations these days where we're running into something completely out of left field that is just stunning. And not stunning in a, oh, hey, look at these graphics that took like 1 million man-hours to render and, or not render, to develop and draw and all this shit. Like, yeah, beautiful games are fine, high realism, whatever. No big deal. I mean, I'm into those as much as the next guy, but beauty to me in a game is simplicity. And that doesn't require manpower, bandwidth, anything. It's, if you are good at what you're doing, you can make a good game. Or, you know, that's a really stupid thing to say. Let me try to say that differently. If you know what you're doing, you can make a good game that doesn't require all the frills of modern development. I guess that's what I'm getting at. It doesn't need to look like Battlefield to be a good game. People still play CS 1.6. They're not playing that because it's pretty. You know, some of them are playing that because it's a, you know, it runs on their potato computer toaster things. 2-in-1 toaster computer. But it's not, wouldn't say that's the majority. I think it's mostly people that enjoy the gameplay. Some of it's nostalgia too, but the point is there's stuff out there that it really doesn't matter if it's pretty. If it's good, it's good. And you can do pretty without taking $1 million, you know, $1 million worth of artwork. And by artwork, I mean work developing or creating art. Anyway, you get what I mean, right? it's fantastic that we have this kind of open industry, I guess, that we maybe didn't have in the past with other industries where you had to be a bit of an insider to get into it. And we're at that stage where access to information and access to tools and all these things are common and accessible enough that we can do this. We can make this work. And not only that, but we wind up benefiting by getting these completely ridiculous premises get attention, and people realize, you know, hey, the premise is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Surgeon Simulator is just weird, right? Like, it doesn't seem like it should be good, like I've talked about. But because it was developed by someone who knew what they were doing, well, maybe not knew what they were doing, but someone who clearly, I think, has some degree of skill. Someone who understands what is fun and what's not. Can make something just silly and dumb, and it's fantastic, and everyone will jump on it and say, hey guys, check this out, this is really cool, give it a shot. And then we can all go play it, and it hits top seller on Steam or whatever. I don't know if Surgeon Simulator ever did, but it's clearly popular. I don't think that's with in doubt whatsoever. So I don't know, kind of rambling, but you get what I mean, right? It's just great to see this scenario, or this situation in the gaming landscape where we can really kind of just get whatever. You get all kinds of weird shit coming around, and you really changes every day. I just, you know, this is in the next, I've already recorded the next Ascendancy episode, so if you're watching both series, you'll see this tomorrow, and this is a little bit of what I talk about. I just wish the major developers would get in on it and put their talent to work making some of those games. And I think it would benefit all parties, but I'll talk about that in the next episode. Yeah, it's just, it's great to see. You know, Dwarf Fortress is another one as well, actually. All these little games that are not necessarily made for profit. Not made because a company thought that it would make them money. Not made because anyone thought it would make them money. It's made because someone wanted to make... Excuse me. Someone wanted to make the game, so they did. And it turned out to be hilarious fun. Dwarf Fortress is in there, like I said. You got Surgeon Simulator, of course. There's a ton of games in there that are not career games. And, you know, I'm not hating on games that are made for profit. Those are fine. But you don't get the wacky shit from those usually. You get that more from, you know, games like Surgeon Simulator. Completely off the wall, ridiculous fun. I think we need more of that. It's disarming, relaxing, whatever you want to call it. It lets you just kind of like, oh, this is like really bizarre. You're not, like, if I play Overwatch, I'm focused and I want to win. I'm there to accomplish a task. If I play Surgeon Simulator, I'm there like, what weird shit can we make happen now? And it's a totally different feeling. And you don't get that with most games. This is actually a pretty good trade for me. Clay oil lamps, let's take that. Let's get this done. Clay oil lamp, there we go. Make like 30. Might as well, right? Maybe I can use them later, sell them, doesn't really matter. But yeah. Anyway, sorry for more talk about indie games on a channel that predominantly plays indie games. That's probably a little boring, but it's just... things are great in gaming. We have all these different things going on. There's bad things going on too, and that's, you know, whatever. There's always going to be negatives. But by and large, things are pretty fucking amazing. There's a lot of amazing stuff going on. Breath of the Wild just can't... You've got amazing AAA games like Breath of the Wild. You've got amazing indie games like Darkest Dungeon. Whatever you're into, whatever you're here for, whatever makes you happy, whatever you enjoy, odds are you can find something in gaming that'll do that for you. And it's great to see that. And I think that really does everyone a service by allowing us to be inclusive. And, oh, that's bad. Okay. What is going on here? Everyone goes home. All you fuckers come out here. And then go to war. Alright. I think we're good now. Healers are... Okay, healers are there. Good. So we don't have tanks, but we don't need them. That is unfortunate that we let these guys die. We need to end the episode, that's what I meant to say, but I want to resolve this first. This is a pretty important issue here. Kill this guy. Do another guy fall down? No. Okay. Good. Let everyone out, because this should be resolved. We just need to get these guys picked up and then deal with the loot, and then we're done. Okay, so I talked some shit about that invasion, and it kind of bit me in the ass, but that's, you know, mistakes happen. It's fine. Let's not worry about it too much. We're gonna be just fine. Just need this a-hole to kick it, finally. And here he goes. There he goes. Alright. Alright. That is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join us for the next one as well. Definitely check out if you want to see kind of what I'm talking about. This isn't a good way to do it because you're going to see a lot of shovelware, but check out the new releases on Steam every day for a few days and just see what you see. So a lot of it's going to be shovelware, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to talk that up as good games, but if you take a look, you're going to... Every once in a while you're going to find something amazing in there, or very interesting in there, and I think it's worth taking a look at. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode. Like I said, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join us the next one as well. Take care.